May 2026 is bringing a strong lineup of games that focus on advanced visuals and modern engine technology. With improved lighting, detailed environments, and smoother performance, these upcoming titles highlight how next-gen graphics are shaping the future of gaming. Let's check them out.
Agents must understand a set of rules that will grant them all possible chances to survive. So, take a deep breath, listen up.
007 First Light is an espionage action-adventure game where James Bond begins as a young MI6 recruit in training. He takes part in missions linked to a rogue agent and a larger conspiracy inside the state. Players use stealth, combat, gadgets, and dialogue choices to handle situations in different ways. The game also includes driving sequences. It features replayable missions with modifiers that change outcomes while building his path toward becoming a 00 agent.
When confronting a whole group of enemies, you may choose a gentler approach.
And hut! Rob Minkley, Crux Magazine.
Bluffing is an art that will serve you well, whether getting caught red-handed
Over here! Looks like a trust fall gone wrong.
or to simply pass through a room under enemies' noses.
Oi, you lads got a faulty coffee machine?
Bluffing consumes instinct and won't be available if a more experienced enemy is nearby. In this scenario, you won't get far without the appropriate gear. Therefore, the second rule is to always come prepared.
Well, what are we waiting for?
MI6 will keep its doors open for you between missions, giving you the chance to catch up with familiar faces, gather intel, and prepare for your next move.
So, your name is Moneypenny.
Now let's not get carried away, James.
QLab, on the lower level, will give you access to a wide range of gadgets.
I like it. Don't change a thing.
Each tool is designed to go unnoticed on the field, but help with maximum efficiency.
Right, follow me. I have something for you.
The Q-Lens will highlight useful information about opportunities and hackable devices. Your Q-Watch should be able to activate these to divert attention, deactivate cameras, or get rid of unsuspicious enemies in creative ways. The dot phone can quietly move enemies out of the way. The smoke pod, a timeless classic, will block visibility at short range. The modified earbuds will produce a flash of light to stun opponents. Other gadgets will be developed in due time and will help you stay creative in all circumstances.
Who do you work for? Take the shot!
Knowing how to improvise is a matter of life and death in the midst of action. Any object at disposal could prove useful to put an enemy's ideas back in their place. The same could be said of guardrails, electrical panels, or any surface hard enough to act as a weapon. Under heated circumstances, MI6 grants you a license to kill, allowing for even more possibilities to get rid of hostiles. In these situations, any weapon could be used as long as you manage to obtain it. Switch between different playstyles to catch your attackers off guard, and don't forget to return what you borrowed once out of ammo. Some enemies will be harder to defeat, and gadgets will help you get rid of soldiers' armors, stun tenacious leaders, and defuse grenades with the simple press of a button from your watch. Focus training will also give you an edge over your enemies. Dilate time and incapacitate their legs, or disarm them with the precision of a marksman. All of these skills might be trained between missions in Taxim, the department of Dr. Selena Tan.
Welcome to my dream factory.
Taxim will put your skills to the test through multiple types of challenges, each with its own specific rules that will pitch your performance against those of other agents from around the world. Overcoming challenges will earn you experience points, which you can spend on gadget upgrades, new firearms, and unique outfits to defeat enemies in style. And remember, at IO Interactive, the launch of a game is only the start. New content for Taxim will be created over time.
Faster, James. Faster.
So, keep an eye out for our updates, and get ready as new challenges lie ahead to put your 00 skills to the test. Finally, one last unwritten rule might be that an agent is never as good as when surrounded by allies, a team ready to give its all in the field, and companions to defend. But we're pretty sure you'll figure out this part yourself when the time comes. See you on May 27 to join the program and discover Bond's adventures in 007 First Light.
This is an SOS from the forward reconnaissance ship Cassiopeia. Our ship has taken...
Directive 8020 is a cinematic sci-fi horror adventure set on the colony ship Cassiopeia after it crashes on Tau Ceti F. Players guide a crew facing a hostile alien organism that can mimic humans. The gameplay uses stealth, quick actions, and limited weapons to survive encounters. Decisions affect the story path, crew survival, and multiple endings. The game supports solo play or shared control of characters in co-op.
We need urgent assistance.
They're right behind me! Open the fucking door!
God, it's alive.
Please. Help us. Get me out of here! Or I'm gonna fucking freeze.
It's fucking burning in here! You can't leave me out here!
Please.
Forza Horizon 6 is a racing game set across Japan where players drive over 550 real-world cars through city streets, rural roads, and varied environments. Players take part in festival races, challenges, and progression events to earn ranks and unlock areas. The game includes options to customize vehicles, collect rare cars, and build and share custom events. Players can purchase homes with garages. It also features online modes including co-op races, car meets, and competitive multiplayer activities. Paralives is a life simulation game where players create characters and manage their daily lives in an open town. Players build and decorate homes using flexible tools like gridless construction, resizable furniture, and detailed customization. The game includes systems for guiding careers, relationships, skills, and personal needs. It features social interactions, aging, and group control. Mod support and community content expand how stories and environments can be shaped over time. Dead is Disco is a rhythm-based beat-em-up where players control Charlie Disco and fight enemies in combat that syncs every punch, dodge, and combo to the music. Players unlock new moves and abilities by matching timing. The game progresses through story levels styled like music videos. Players face boss characters called idols. It includes collecting outfits and items. Custom or in-game tracks create different combat patterns and challenges.
You will sleep through 14 years of flight to your new home on Caesura. We encourage you to know.
Subnautica 2 is an underwater survival game set on an alien ocean planet where players gather resources and craft tools, vehicles, and bases. Players manage survival needs while moving through different biomes filled with creatures. The game supports solo or co-op play. Players use scanning systems to study life forms and unlock upgrades. It includes base building and deeper traversal. Players must adapt equipment and strategies to handle increasing environmental danger.
in the home of a solitary woodcutter. Traces of her.
The Relic First Guardian is an action RPG set in a ruined land where players collect relics that act as runes with passive effects to change combat behavior. These allow different builds through skill trees and weapon types. The system reserves stamina for defense, while skills run on cooldowns. The game features unique equipment with individual histories. Players face numerous bosses that each carry their own story.
It was neither a curse nor a punishment. It was a story of someone who lost the sky.
Zero Parades for Dead Spies is an RPG where players take the role of an operative managing a final assignment. Players use skill-based systems and dialogue checks to gather information and influence characters. Choices shape outcomes. The game includes mechanics like conditioning to build abilities and tactical view to pause and plan actions. Pressure systems track fatigue and mental strain. Decisions affect relationships, story paths, and the stability of the character's mind.
The interrogation, playing over and over again. No more sleep, no more nightmare.
You've been sniffing the opera's glue again, Cascade. I've discovered who betrayed our whole sixth crew.
Been at it since yesterday. Tying off one last thing.
The Illuminados are waking up, Hirsch, dancing to a new form of electropop. A big wave gathering. Developed world's got no idea. It's gonna be tectonic, Hirsch. Put your money down. Cultural bazooka pointed at the entire fucking world.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Smith. All of us here at TT Games.
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is an action-adventure game where players control Batman across an open Gotham City. Players use combat, combos, stealth, and detective abilities to handle crimes and missions. They switch between characters like Robin and Batgirl. Vehicles such as the Batmobile are included. The game features interactions with well-known villains. It supports co-op play and collectible-based progression tied to suits, upgrades, and city activities.
Era-spanning Batman adventure that can only exist in a LEGO world. Today, for the first time, we're taking you deep underneath Wayne Manor. The Batcave. It starts as little more than a hole in the ground, filled with bats. Bats and the stuff left behind by bats. And also fear. But as Batman learns to use that fear and grows into a Gotham City legend, the Batcave grows along with him. Over the course of our story, you'll excavate and expand the Batcave. It's the base of all Batman operations, where you'll build your collection of Batsuits and the ultimate garage of Batmobiles. You'll upgrade your gadgets and skills. You'll exhibit trophies from your adventures and adversaries, and you can really make the place your own by collecting and building a huge variety of LEGO furnishings and equipment.
Muscle.
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight features capes, cowls, and costumes from every Batman era. From 0 year to 89. From Bronze Age to Dark Knight. You can even assume the identity of Zur-En-Arr. Or this guy. The Bat Computer.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute, you can't...
Batman's supercharged repository for all his case files, progress data, and screensavers. Keep track of your collectibles, and make sure you found those last Wayne Tech chips. Batman does love his toys and has the resources to fight crime with the Waynest of tech. Grapple over to the workbench and upgrade your gadgets. throw a concussive batarang that disorientates every wrongdoer in the area. Or upgrade your Batclaw to turn your enemies into minifigure wrecking balls.
Who are you?
There are dozens of new options here. Be a good partner in crime fighting and upgrade your allies' equipment too.
Meow.
And of course, every Batcave needs an amazing collection of vehicles. Lego Batman gives you the garage of your dreams. The Batmobile from The Batman, the 1966 classic. The Dark Knight Batpod, the Tumbler, and many more. Race, blast, drift, and crash your way down the dark streets of Gotham City. Then, if you need a minute after a long night of crime fighting, you can relax with some pinball. Or a Lego Batman the video game. Or just... Become Batman. Defend Gotham City. Build the legacy.
This is Will. How'd you read me?
Come in, Will. Got 2 bits of news for you, starting with the not-so-great one.
Will Follow the Light is a first-person adventure puzzle game where players control a lighthouse keeper who travels across northern seas and remote locations. Movement includes sailing and dog sled mechanics. Players solve environmental puzzles and navigate harsh conditions. The story is driven by a missing family member. Exploration spans islands, mountains, and ruined areas. The game uses narration and environmental storytelling.
5 feet!
I know. Just hold on for me, all right?
Hanging out, getting buzzed.
I've got to get out of this place.
Mixtape is a narrative adventure game where players control 3 friends reliving key memories during a final night together. Players progress through short gameplay sequences tied to a curated music tracklist. Activities include skateboarding, taking photos, and interacting with environments. Each segment represents a different moment from their past. Transitions between scenes are driven by the soundtrack and player actions.
This year, experience a retrospective like no other. Beethoven and Dinosaur invites you to relive the teenage riot, to spend one last night together before school's out forever. And with a soundtrack this good, it's gonna be one hell of a night. And The Cure. I love The Cure. Experience?
Do you still see those shadows, Professor?
No! Don't touch it!
Call of the Elder Gods is a first-person narrative puzzle adventure where players switch between 2 characters to investigate a mystery linked to ancient artifacts. Players solve object-based and observation puzzles across different locations and time periods. The game includes adjustable difficulty options, like hints and journals. The story involves missing people, strange visions, and encounters with unknown entities that influence both characters' understanding of events.
Hard really is.
Evangeline, why is all this happening? It's as if everything were predetermined.
Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core is a co-op first-person shooter with a roguelite structure where players start missions with basic tools. Players gather weapons, upgrades, and abilities during runs. Combat takes place inside procedurally generated caves against alien creatures. Difficulty increases over time. The game includes team-based mechanics for building combined loadouts. Players collect resources for crafting enhancements. Progression rewards survival and coordination across solo or group play.
Time to hit the road. Driving means different things to different people. For some, it's the thrill of speed, the sensation.
Outbound is a simulation adventure game where players build and manage a mobile home on a camper van. Players use modular construction to add workstations, furniture, and systems. They gather resources to craft items, grow crops, and cook food. Energy management is based on solar, wind, and water power. The game includes vehicle upgrades and customization options. It supports solo play and co-op with shared building and progression.
To go where you want and just be. After 5 hours behind the wheel experiencing that freedom for myself, I think I just might be one of those people. I drove until the gray of the city faded from my mirrors. Now, the open road and this camper van are all I call home. These simple thoughts are all that greet me as I wind my rustic, microbus-like vehicle through the wooded roads. Flanked on each side by walls of rock, I find a viewpoint after one final bend and step out to survey the scenic valley stretching ahead. With blue skies overhead and chirps of birds filling the air, I take in the forest stretching all around. A small number of structures dot the landscape, with a ranger station nearby, a raised drawbridge further ahead, and the silhouette of a windmill adorning a far-off hillside. The goal of Outbound, as best I can tell, is just to live. I don't mean that in a things are trying to harm you way. Rather, you are here to build a life in nature, and within your trusty camper van. There are objectives. My first few are to visit a nearby fire lookout and craft some essential tools, but those seem to be more about encouraging exploration and teaching me how to survive rather than missions focused on advancing a predetermined narrative. I'm here to see the sights, see to the needs of my character in my van, and wake up each morning ready to find my own adventure in this survival sim high in coziness and low in life-threatening stakes. The road is blocked by a broken barrier arm, so I decide to explore a bit more. A small signal tower made of truss nearby draws my attention. As I arrive at the base of the tower, I find a computer terminal that allows me to log in and trade in a ticket in my back pocket for the blueprints to craft a hammer and wrench. As I return to the van, I notice a supply crate filled with wood, a campfire to light with it, and some metal scraps strewn about the ground. I take those bits of metal to the workbench built into the rear compartment of my van, craft a wrench to repair the barrier, and resume my journey through the tight switchbacks into the valley, toward the fire lookout. While there are roads to follow, plenty of forks, side paths, and hiking trails make it clear there isn't a predefined track to dictate where you go. Obstructions like that barrier, broken bridges, and unpowered vehicle elevators cut off access in some directions, but additional signal towers and points of interest, like that fire lookout, offer new blueprints that expand the number of crafting options. Finding blueprints, lighting campfires, and exploring the points of interest form the core exploration loop, though there are additional secrets to find, like cairns to stack or scatter, or even hidden gnomes with funny names like Rat Pack, Gnomey McGnomeface, and Gary. Cleaning up campsites lets me gather up materials to recycle, exchanging litter for the tickets to buy blueprints. Soon I find a signal tower that lets me trade one in for the plans for a countertop sawmill I could build inside my van. While I don't necessarily recommend exposing spinning saw blades behind the seat of a moving vehicle, it did let me turn the basic everwood logs into planks. Just the things I needed to repair a nearby collapsed bridge. After some gathering and milling, I do just that and advance towards the heart of the region. I'm 10 days into my journey now, and I've reached the base of the hill under that windmill I saw earlier. My drive up the path is thwarted though, as my little electric motor lacks the horsepower to overcome the steep incline, which, to be fair, is in keeping with the little flat 4 engines of the old 60s and 70s microbuses. Fortunately, I just picked up a vehicle research station blueprint, and with a twist of a wrench and some well-spent scraps and bolts, I upgrade my powertrain and start the climb. Maintaining the van is an essential component of your life out here off the grid. This little camper is all electric and burns through juice pretty quickly. There are multiple tiers of upgrades that can improve engine power and battery capacity, but that energy will start to run out.
Time to walk. Yes.
Fortunately, there are plenty of options, like the occasional recharging station at the side of the road. In most cases, the most immediate option is the power unit attached next to the engine. Pop open the engine cover on the rear of the van and you'll see a little canister attached to the motor which you can feed wood and fiber into to generate power, like your own personal Mr. Fusion. Keep that power unit fed, top off your tire pressure, and this little baby will take great care of you. The drive up is slow, but under clear blue skies with blue, yellow, and red flowers bending to the breeze, I really can't complain. The windmill is easily the largest structure I've visited so far, and features a well-stocked supply crate filled with flowers, fiber, and carrots, while another little gnome, this one is Indiana Gnomes, hides around the corner. Those carrots are especially important because, like the van, your character needs to be fed. Berries and fruits are plentiful enough alongside the road that starvation doesn't seem like an imminent threat, though they don't fill you up much. Learning to craft planters or cooking surfaces proves a more efficient way to keep the stomach rumbles at bay. There's a surprising amount going on at this windmill. The big blades on the front of the building aren't turning, and fixing that is a structure-spanning puzzle involving spinning floors, lining up ladders, and climbing bookshelves to find hidden buttons. As I reach the top and spend my remaining scrap metal on repairs, the blades begin to turn, opening a door blocking a blueprint to download. Everything is going smoothly until I take one wrong step next to an opening in the floor and drop to the story below with a painful grunt.
Ugh!
Ouch. I lose a good-sized chunk off my health bar for the first time. While there aren't any hazards specifically out to cause you harm, that doesn't mean you're invincible. Overly ambitious jumps and falls like the one I took at the mill can chip away at your health, and if you don't keep up on your hunger, starvation will start sapping your life away too. You won't necessarily die, but if your health bar runs out, you will faint and lose a day while you recuperate, starting again with a quarter of your health restored. Fortunately, you can find ginseng in many supply crates, which heals you, and a good night's rest can work wonders. I park my van at a recharge station at the base of the hill and do just that.
A fresh new day.
I've been exploring for just over 2 weeks now, and I've accumulated quite a few blueprints. Most of my tools are upgraded, and I've visited all the nearby landmarks. With a cargo hold brimming with crafting materials, I decided it's time to put them all together and really trick out my van. Your camper van is more than just a means of transportation with a bed in the back. It's your fully customizable home away from home. The rack on the roof is nothing short of a miracle, allowing you to build out, up, and all around, then folding it all up neatly when it's time to hit the road again. The biggest limitation is weight capacity, though, like the engine itself, that can be upgraded over time. I start to lay out some basic wood flooring in a rectangle that extends beyond my van in each direction. I built plenty of houses in other survival games, so even my shoddy first attempt comes together well enough as I build up walls, tack on a roof, and close off the ends. It's not very fancy or creative, but it's home. It's also very supply intensive, and I find myself out of logs fast. While I am in a forest, Outbound is no tree puncher, and additional lumber needs to be found on downed logs rather than harvested from the healthy trees around. I appreciate the lack of clear cutting, as it's very in line with the overall one with nature conservationalist slant, but it does mean that supplies aren't as plentiful as you'd find in a typical Minecraft server or grove in Once Human, and I find myself scouring the countryside for every usable bit of wood. I'm lucky no one else is around. If they saw the way I slam on my brakes and run out into a thunderstorm to excitedly grab a single log, they'd probably have me committed. Some more supplies for crafting. But such is the life of a craftsman. As I finish the structure, it's time to start putting the space to work. I drop a trio of solar panels on a platform above the cab, allowing the van to slowly charge while it's parked and fully deployed. Inside, I set up counters for all the various machines I have the blueprints for, allowing me to sew, stamp out bolts, and smelt ore into metal sheets. Add a chair, a tasteful end table, and some candles, and this space is looking cozier already. Admittedly, it's pretty rustic, the whole thing looks like it's made of recycled pallets, but I'm happy with it for a first draft, though in my head I'm already drawing up plans for when I unlock fancier construction options, like glass windows and metal siding. I think a balcony covered in planters growing crops would look sharp above the passenger seat. But that's a project for another day. For now, I pack up, slide into the driver's seat, and hit the open road. My batteries are full, and I've got a whole day of adventuring ahead of me. You won't need to wait much longer to take the wheel yourself, as Outbound pulls up to PlayStation 5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and Steam on April 20th.
It's time to clock in, Pioneer. Your assignment begins aboard a company outpost, your first hub in an uncharted galaxy.
SpaceCraft is an online space simulation game where players pilot ships across multiple star systems. Players mine resources and craft materials to build and customize spacecraft. They set up planetary bases that can be automated with production lines and logistics systems. The game includes trading goods in a player-driven economy. Players form groups to manage large-scale operations. Activities include mining, manufacturing, and transport across different locations.
Build your own base. Automate production and refine materials into advanced components. Unfold this expansive universe filled with countless planets and opportunities. Design your own spacecrafts, adapting them to your needs. Out here, success is measured by your assets. Expand your operations and become a high-value corporation.
Thousand years of exile has finally ended for you.
Farever is an online action RPG where players create characters and take part in combat using different classes, weapon skills, and abilities. These can be combined to form varied playstyles. Players gather resources and craft gear through professions. Movement includes traversal actions like climbing and gliding. The game supports co-op for dungeons, enemies, and group-based encounters with coordinated attacks and support roles. Alabaster Dawn is a top-down action RPG where players control a character using combo-based combat with multiple weapons and elemental abilities. Players switch setups during fights and unlock skills through separate weapon trees. The game includes puzzles tied to abilities. Players rebuild settlements by helping communities, which changes areas over time. It also features crafting systems, gear upgrades with gems, and resource management for progression. Dark Light Survivor is an action roguelike survival game where players travel between different universes using the Phantom Train. Players fight enemies with both melee and ranged weapons. The game switches between top-down and third-person views. Players collect resources and upgrades during each run. They unlock skills, classes, and artifacts for long-term progression. Difficulty increases across multiple maps with varied enemies, bosses, and environmental challenges.
This is Slicer P. I have arrived at the target destination.
Motorslice is an action-adventure game where players control a character using parkour abilities like running, climbing, sliding, and wall running. Movement takes place across a large megastructure. Players engage in fast combat using a chainsaw against hostile machines. The game includes climbing and damaging large boss enemies. Players navigate traps and solve physics-based puzzles. Progression requires precise movement and timing to survive encounters and hazards.
My job here is to hunt down machines. Reaching the top is just part of a job well done.
Discovery. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is an adventure game where players control Yoshi as he enters a living book to study different creatures. Players use actions like throwing, licking, and interacting with creatures to observe behaviors and record details. The game features colorful areas filled with puzzles and environmental interactions. Gameplay focuses on experimenting with creatures and combining their abilities to progress and uncover information.
Research the creatures inside the book.
Tommy, Cardia.
Before diving in, let's go over some actions. Extend Yoshi's tongue to gobble things up. Aim and throw eggs. Flutter jump to hover in the air for a bit. And ground pound to slam straight down. Okay, with that in mind, let's take a peek inside. First up is this creature. They are. Gobble 'em and... Ooh, tastes sweet. When you make a discovery, it gets an illustration like this. Hit him with an egg and... Oh, it got dazed. By the way, you can do a tail flick, a brand new move. By doing so, you can get the creature on your back. Oh, the flower buds bloom when touched. Let's ground pound here. Hey, a sprout popped out. Ground pound in the water, and the area becomes lush with grass. Try doing things like this to find more and more discoveries. There's also a big discovery that sparkles like this. Once you find it, your research will come to an end. After you've wrapped up, you can give the creature a name. Come up with your own, or ask Mr. E for a suggestion. This creature is called Crazy Daisy. Creatures are listed by order of discovery. If you haven't found a discovery yet, it'll appear like this. By using tokens you've collected, you can predict discoveries and unlock hints. There seems to be more to discover about this creature. There are even more creatures inside the book. One that sings musical notes. A bee-like creature that chases you in a swarm. And a fluffy one that keeps multiplying. Who knows what you'll find? As you progress, more chapters will unlock, expanding your research to include mountains, seasides, valleys, and more. You'll come across creatures with different traits. So enjoy researching areas and finding all sorts of discoveries. Hey, it's Bowser Jr. Looks like he and Comic are searching for something inside this book as well. Wonder what it is. What kinds of discoveries will you make to fill these pages? Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Available May 21st only on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. The Yoshi and the Mysterious Book game supports the amiibo figures shown on screen. Tap an amiibo to receive a fortune, as well as tokens based on its result.
We'll show you how to use the environment to your advantage and how preparing your actions in advance brings you closer to victory.
Sanguis is a turn-based strategy game where players control a squad of warriors and plan actions on a timeline system that can shift turn order. This allows attacks, delays, and positioning to create chain reactions. The game also uses environmental effects like explosions and obstacles to influence battles. Progression is based on choosing missions, managing risk levels, and unlocking abilities that combine into different tactical builds.
This is a delayed skill. Its effects triggers after a set number of time units, dealing damage and consuming the mark applied by Ball Step to deal even more damage. Environmental hazards are scattered throughout the level, waiting to be used to our advantage. This blood blister triggers when attacked. Using Repelling Thrust, I safely trigger the blood blister, and its explosion will push the enemy into the plasmatic hail prepared by my Tempestar. And now we are all set to watch the fireworks. A perfectly executed plan. Each victory in the memory unlocks a new talent for your Stila. You are offered 3 randomly selected options in a mix of new skills and powerful attributes. Each Stila class draws from a pool of highly synergistic talents while also sharing a common pool of versatile talents. The Veritor specializes in time manipulation. Break the timeline enough, and your enemies may never get a turn. We can't wait to see the strategies you'll discover using these tools.
Dread Neighbor is a first-person psychological horror game where players control a woman living in an apartment and manage daily routines that gradually change as strange events appear. Players use exploration and observation to notice shifts in the environment. They must avoid threats during chase sequences and gather clues to understand the situation. The game includes multiple perspectives and endings shaped by player actions and responses to increasing paranoia and hidden dangers. Copa City is a strategy simulation game where players manage the organization of football matches by building and upgrading city infrastructure. Players set up fan zones and handle transport, food, and security while preparing stadium areas. Progress is measured through a match readiness system that tracks how well events are planned. The game also includes managing budgets, city layout, and services to meet the needs of large crowds.
Do we have the courage and means to fix this? A very wise decision. Hot food, cold drinks. That's what it takes to win over a crowd. For some, it's just a PR success story. For us, it's a matter of survival. Food prices are back to normal. New spaces are opening up. Copa City is starting to look like the place we always imagined. Uh-oh, looks like here comes trouble. Will you help me manage this one too?
There are so many decisions ahead and so many places to make them. Copa City isn't just a game. It's an event that you and I need to build from scratch. Will you help me shape the city, Captain?
Coffee Talk Tokyo is a visual novel simulation game where players prepare drinks for customers in a late-night cafe while listening to their stories and making dialogue choices that affect character outcomes. Gameplay is built around selecting ingredients and serving orders correctly. The story progresses through branching conversations. Social features reveal extra story details. The game includes multiple endings based on interactions with both human and supernatural visitors. Helix, Descent, and Ascent is an adventure puzzle game where players use unlockable abilities to interact with the environment and solve challenges. Players combine powers in different ways to handle puzzles with varying complexity. The game takes place in a monochrome world and includes a second character that mirrors the player. Progression is tied to learning mechanics, experimenting with combinations, and uncovering story elements through environmental details rather than dialogue.
It's me, your old pal Bubsy. Ever since I announced my return, your reactions have been amazing!
Bubsy 4D is a 3D platformer where players control Bubsy across different planets using movement abilities like running, jumping, gliding, climbing, and rolling. Players collect yarn, unlock upgrades, and complete levels that include enemy encounters and boss fights. The game features optional time trials for replay. It also includes customization options through outfits. Progression is tied to gathering items and improving movement skills.
Whew. Okay then. Here are the right ones. See? Now this is what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, this feels good. We got tech now, baby. I'm talking bigger bosses, meaner enemies, and of course, me in beautiful HD. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Are you ready?
Pax Autocratica is a strategy simulation game that combines colony management with first-person combat. Players build and expand a controlled settlement and manage citizens through laws and resource systems. Production and logistics can be automated. Players also lead units in missions that use roguelite progression with upgrades gained during runs. Decisions affect population behavior, loyalty, and the overall stability of the regime. OddFauna: Secret of the Terrabeast is a sandbox simulation game where players live on a growing creature called a Terrabeast. Players shape its terrain by carving land, planting crops, and building structures. They collect resources to craft tools and items. Creatures can be befriended to provide abilities and materials. The ecosystem expands by balancing plants and fauna. Progression is tied to developing the living world and unlocking new biomes and features. RoadOut is an action RPG set in a post-apocalyptic environment where players take contracts and travel using a vehicle for driving and combat. Players switch to on-foot gameplay for twin-stick shooting, melee attacks, and puzzle-based dungeon sections with rotatable perspectives. Both the character and vehicle can be upgraded through crafting, cybernetics, and skills. The game includes faction interactions, racing events, and missions such as delivery, sabotage, and combat tasks. Romestead is a survival action-adventure game where players rebuild a settlement after a collapse. Players gather resources by carrying and using materials directly. They construct buildings for crafting and production and manage citizens' needs. The game includes fighting enemies and defending the town at night. It features RPG systems for equipment and skills. Co-op support allows group play. Progression comes through exploration, research, and choosing gods that grant different bonuses and abilities.
You have what it takes to beat the fallen and restore Rome to what it once was.
You've been hired to work.
So you're not the boss of me.
Shift at Midnight is a co-op simulation horror game where players manage a gas station during night shifts. Players check customers to identify hidden threats using questioning, ID checks, and behavior observation. Each shift includes randomly generated scenarios. If mistakes occur, players must defend the location by placing traps, barricading entrances, and hiding. The game requires coordination with others through multiplayer systems.
Oh, creepy. No, thank you.
Did you see? Wait. Oh my goodness.
We're like two doppelgangers.
60 seconds. Okay, you board up the doors. I'll start setting traps.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god. What the hell is that?
The Awakener Battle Tendency is an action RPG where players fight large groups of enemies using third-person combat. The combat focuses on movement, timing, and positioning. Players collect loot with randomized affixes to build different playstyles. Weapons, skills, and talents can be combined to create varied setups. Progression is based on clearing stages, upgrading gear, and tackling higher difficulty encounters after completing the main content. Withering Realms is a horror action RPG where players control a ghost and a doll companion. Players fight enemies using melee and ranged weapons that can be crafted and equipped on the doll. They explore locations such as towns, tombs, and caves to gather materials and unlock upgrades. Progression includes expanding accessible areas by defeating large enemies. Players build different loadouts and revisit areas under changing conditions. The game also includes interacting with characters for tasks and support. Thick as Thieves is a stealth action game where players complete heists by avoiding detection, using tools and abilities to distract guards, disable security, and move through levels with options to play solo or in co-op, while missions feature changing layouts and patrols that require observation and planning, alongside character-specific skills and gadgets that allow different approaches to stealing objectives and escaping without being caught.
Best to stay nice and quiet. But keep your wits about you.
Who's there? Huh?
You never know what's around the corner. Things could go many different ways. Because like I say, it's every fate for themselves.
They Left Us Here is a first-person sci-fi horror game where players move through an abandoned space station. Players solve puzzles by finding key items and restoring systems while avoiding hostile threats. Progression is tied to uncovering clues about the environment and the character's past. The game includes managing limited resources. Players navigate interconnected areas to unlock paths and escape.
Before the leaves fall, they said.
The Caribou Trail is a first-person story game set during World War I. You follow 3 soldiers trying to survive the harsh conditions of Gallipoli. Instead of focusing on combat, the game highlights exploration, small daily tasks, and choices that shape your experience. You move through trenches, complete missions, and interact with companions. It also adds light, psychological, and folklore elements, creating a tense and emotional journey about survival, friendship, and making it home.
Gordo!
Starbites is a story-driven RPG set on a desert planet ruined by war. You play as Lukita, a scavenger searching for parts and answers after a strange event changes her life. Explore the world, meet companions, and uncover hidden secrets. Battles use turn-based combat with mechas you can upgrade and customize. As you progress, you build relationships, face stronger enemies, and slowly uncover the truth behind the planet's mysteries. Corsairs Battle of the Caribbean is a naval strategy game set in the age of pirates. You command a fleet, manage your crew, and fight for control of the seas. Battles focus on positioning, ship types, and ammo choices. You can upgrade ships, capture enemy vessels, and expand your power. With campaigns for different nations and skirmish modes, the game offers both structured missions and flexible battles across the Caribbean.
If that's not enough, there is only one solution left. Boarding!